Happy Sunday, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our guidance and counseling presentation for parents. And to those of you students who are watching, thank you so much for doing that. You're going to hear information that is still important, even though you're not a parent. And it's stuff that all of us just can't cover enough for you as counselors. So we're glad that you're taking a moment to be here.
Hi, I'm Miss Benson, one of the college counselors.
Hi, I'm Miss Ganger, college counselor and Alumni Advisor.
All right, so let's get started with our meeting. So once again, we want to just say welcome to our Spartan families, and we're really happy for you to be here. So this is our guidance and counseling presentation. You've just met the three of us, your academic and college counselors for your daughters, but we also have a fourth counselor, Miss Molina. She is your daughter's personal counselor, and she is available to them all 4 years, just like we are. And we're going to spend a couple of slides later on in this presentation to talk about who she is and how she helps. Here's our agenda. Yes, it does look pretty lengthy, but I swear we will move as fast as we can while hopefully answering a lot of your questions and being thorough in the process. So the first thing, counseling overview. What is it? What does that mean in high school? So academic and college counseling really work hand in hand all 4 years because we can't do one without the other essentially. So in 9th and 10th grade, we're really providing resources and supporting your daughters academically to make sure that they are transitioning well into high school, that they are happy with their grades, and if they're not, that we're working on a number of interventions or different supports to be better. And that really varies throughout the 4 years. Some students need it right away as soon as they start high school. Others won't need it until the 2nd or 3rd year, but no matter what, we are working on that. The other thing that your daughters are doing, or will be doing, I should say, is receiving a checklist in 9th and 10th grade from Ms. Benson and Ms. Ganger. That checklist is to get them ready for college because, again, even though we just transitioned into high school, we are kind of thinking about college, just not in a very direct way. Because what we're teaching them is that what they're doing now in school is getting them ready for college. And the checklist is going to help them kind of remind them like, hey, so what does college look like? What do I want for myself from college? So it'll be time for them just to learn more, to do some researching, and nothing really high stakes yet, but just to get them in the mindset that my academics impact my college career. For 11th grade, we're still doing the same thing, but we're being a little bit stronger in it. We're really strengthening those grades because junior year is a big year for colleges, and we want your daughters to be proud of their transcripts and have some really great progress to show. We also get ready for the ACT and the SAT, which are 2 college placements tests. And that is something that Ms. Benson, Ms. Ganger, and myself will walk your daughters through in junior year when the time comes and get them registered for the right test at the right time. It's also a time where Ms. Benson and Ms. Ganger might start meeting with your daughters and you about the college process, because in 12th grade, you're really going for it. There's still academics. I'm still making sure that you are happy with your daughter's work and that she is happy with her work, but really that focus has fully become college because it's time to apply now. It's time to apply for scholarship money, financial aid support, and to ultimately make that decision. So even though that decision is one that you will make with your daughter, Ms. Benson and Ms. Ganger will be there to support throughout that. Personal counseling. So with personal counseling, like I said, that's Ms. Molina. And she's here for your daughters, just like we are, all 4 years, and she provides support for social and emotional issues. So this can be stress, worry, anxiety, relationships, just like friendships, relationships in the family or outside, anything that might be impacting, and getting ready for the future. Because even though we're at high school and we got to think about classes and everything, we still have to make sure that your daughter is feeling okay about herself and, is feeling supported as she is moving forward. So together, all of this helps to make high school, hopefully, a really enjoyable experience where she's fully supported. But Miss Molina is not by herself. She has some help. So we have Miss Molina here on the left-hand side of your screen. She's the one with the bridge. So she is the personal counselor. In the middle here, you have Miss Rachel Topham. She is a volunteer here at ICA Cristo Rey. And new this year is Miss Stephanie Snyder. So she's a trainee. So that means she's learning how to become a personal counselor just like Miss Molina. So they're also available for your daughter. Next, grades and reporting. So first thing to know about our grading system, and that is a little blurry, but hopefully not too bad on your end. This is our grading scale. So if your daughter says, hey, I have a 3.7 GPA, you can look at the scale and that tells you that's an A-. So this is helpful for her to know. That way she's setting goals for herself. What type of GPA does she want? It helps if she says, oh, I only have a bunch of B's. Well, what does that mean? So this is pretty helpful. So this information can also be found in your daughter's handbook that was given when she received all of her books for this year. So we talk about GPA because it varies through all 4 years, but essentially GPA is your daughter's grade point average, and it's the number representing the average value of the grades. So if your daughter came home and she says, here's my report card, and she has a bunch of C's, essentially she has a 2.0 GPA. And we always want our GPA to be as high as it can. So we want to aim closer to that 3, aim closer to the 4, and just keep moving forward. For those parents who have daughters in older grades, other than freshman year, you might notice that your daughter has multiple GPAs. And that has to do with the classes that she's taking, meaning that she might have a class where it's an AP class or an honors class. So that means that she receives more points for what she's doing. So her GPA keeps getting higher. And that's the goal. We always want to keep improving for ourselves personally, but for the future, for college, for your daughter. The next question that I get a lot is, well, what makes up my daughter's semester grade, right? So we just finished progress reports. So we're still in quarter 1, believe it or not. And your daughter has 1 more month of quarter 1, or I guess maybe 3 weeks at this point. And then quarter 1 ends. Then she's going to do it again, but in something called quarter 2. And quarter 2 will run from mid-October through the end of the grading period in December. After that, there is a week of finals. So we take her quarter 1 grade, her quarter 2 grade, and her final exam, and that is how your daughter earns a semester grade. So what that means, first of all, the semester grade is the only thing that shows up on the transcript. Though what it really means too is that your daughter is at the point to keep improving her quarter 1 grade. That way it's really strong, it's really good, and she's happy with it. And to do the same thing for quarter 2. It also means that if quarter 1 doesn't end on a strong note, she still has time to fix it. So she can still do better in quarter 2. If she gets a B- in quarter 1, maybe in quarter 2, she's aiming for a B+. So those are really what make up the majority of that semester grade. That final exam, as you see, that 15 to 20% range, is really small in comparison. So we really want to put all the effort and the attention into these quarter grades. And if you're wondering about those percentages, that varies from department to department, which is why you're seeing that range. But the main point is that the final exam is pretty small in comparison to the work that she does in the quarter, where she has the most control. PowerSchool. So PowerSchool is great. It has a lot of information, but it's very helpful. And what you'll see here is the updates on your daughter's attendance and tardies, first of all. So you'll see, is she showing up on time to her Zoom class? Is she staying in bed and not going to her Zoom class? You'll have all that information at your fingertips. Also, what your daughters use it primarily for, and you might as well, are grades. This is how you see what her grades are currently. You can see if she's missing an assignment. You can see if she was missing an assignment, but she turned it in. You'll see it all there. Test scores, grades from projects, everything like that. What I also like about PowerSchool is it makes it a one-stop spot for you to email the teachers directly. And you can also have this as an app on your cell phone. So you'll need the mobile app code, which is HMDN. And if there's any problems with this, you don't know how to log in, you don't know what your credentials are, like your username and your password, you can email Mr. Callahan at powerschool@icacademy.org. And he'll be able to set you up with that and to make sure you're all set. And then you have access to your daughter's grades. Another way to access PowerSchool is directly through the ICA Cristo Rey Academy website. So IC Cristo Rey, we have too many dots there, but .org, and you'll see PowerSchool. So you'll click that, you'll log in, and this is what you would see. You would see your daughter's grades. So this is an example of a sophomore course list. And you see like, oh, hey, she has an A in this class. She has a C in this class. Oh, wait, why does my daughter have a C? So you would click that grade and you would be able to see what is going on. If it's test scores, is she missing work? And from there, that's always a good way to start the conversation. It lets you know what she might need a little bit more help with. So this brings us to Naviance, and Ms. Benson is going to take over now, and she is going to tell you all the wonderful things about Naviance and how she uses it.
Thanks, Ms. Ruiz. So on to Naviance. Naviance is the primary communication tool for the college application process. But before we start college applications, parents and students can use it for research. If you need your account reset, please email naviance@icacademy.org and we can help you with that. Naviance can be used for 9th, 10th, and 11th graders and their parents to learn about colleges. You can use the colleges I'm thinking about list to keep yourself really organized and keep a list of colleges that you're thinking about. And then using Supermatch can be really helpful too, to find out kind of where you stand with colleges and what colleges might be a good fit. Checklists. The checklist is the tool that we use to keep students on track to accomplish their college goals. This year, there'll be one checklist for 9th graders, 10th graders, and 11th graders, one each for each of those grades, and 2 checklists for 12th graders. 12th graders have already received their first checklist. Google Classroom is how we communicate and where we will post those checklists as soon as it is time. And those are the classroom codes for all students in case they need to join those Google Classrooms. How can parents help their students prepare for college? First, you can ask them what they're working on and learn about what they're doing, especially once they get that checklist. You can talk about college options with them and your opinions on college. You can check PowerSchool regularly and be aware of her grades and help her to do her best in all of her classes. Really be there for supporting her. You can attend a college fair or a college campus tour with her. They're all virtual right now, so it's really easy to do from home. For 9th graders, the checklist focus is going to be really learning how to navigate high school and setting some long-range goals. We want students to make sure that they can succeed in high school first and foremost. So things like checking PowerSchool regularly to monitor grades will be on the checklist. We're going to ask students to stay organized and use her planner. And then they'll also read an article titled, "Should I be worried about college as a high school freshman?" The answer is no, not really, but it's a good article to help you with those long-range goals. For 10th graders, they'll start researching colleges. They're going to learn where they fit and what options might be best for them, and they're also going to set some goals. They'll do a career interest profiler in Naviance, and learn more about colleges in general. For the 11th graders, we are going to get a little bit more specific. We will take the SAT and the ACT because those will probably be back on in the spring, and they'll start preparing for their applications. So they'll do test prep, then they'll take the tests, they'll do real research on specific colleges, they'll attend college visits and college fairs, and they'll have a college research assignment as well. They'll begin their colleges I'm thinking about list in Naviance. And then in English class, they will start their college essays. And they will ask one teacher for a letter of recommendation in the spring. And then those teachers have all summer to write really good letters for your students. 12th graders, that's when we dive in and do the application. So we've already started college applications, financial aid applications will start on October 1st, scholarship applications. For this year, 12th graders do not have to worry about the SAT or the ACT. Colleges are not expecting students to take those tests, and we also are not expecting students to take those tests. So that's one thing they don't have to worry about. For the spring, it's really leading up to decision time. Students will know where they got into college and how much it costs around April 1st for all of their colleges, and they have to make that decision, decide what college to go to by May 1st. It's pretty exciting. So next, Ms. Ganger.
All right, thank you, Ms. Benson. And I'm Ms. Ganger. As I mentioned earlier, I am one of the college counselors, and I also work with students as an alumni advisor. So Ms. Benson and myself will assist you and your student through the college application and decision-making process. But after a student graduates from ICA, they also have support in making sure that they successfully enroll in a college, start that first day of semester 1, and then persist all the way through to graduation. It's a part of the Cristo Rey goal and mission to get 100% of our Cristo Rey graduates into a 4-year school and to graduate from a 4-year school. So a number of our students do end up attending community colleges, and one of my main roles as an alumni advisor is to assist them through the transfer process. So make sure they select courses successfully that go towards general education requirements and towards a major, so they're working towards something in that 4-year bachelor's degree. So I'll stay in touch with students through a number of different methods, one of which is something called Remind, which allows me to send mass texts and reminders to students about deadlines for things like FAFSA or transfer deadlines if they're hoping to transfer from a 2-year school to a 4-year school, anything like that. It's a really easy way for me to communicate with students and for them to communicate with me as well. On top of that, I do have an alumni Instagram, which I update regularly with pertinent information about updates and things that are happening in the college world. Top of that, I'll also post things having to do with scholarships and career opportunities for students. The main goal and the main role for an alumni advisor is just to make sure that students have a successful college experience and graduate with that bachelor's degree. So that concludes the main portion of our presentation, and now we just have a couple of other things to share with you, including our way of communicating with families. So we do host general meetings. You are more than welcome to contact any of us. Whenever it has to do with academic advising, please contact Ms. Ruiz. If it's college counseling, please contact Ms. Benson or myself. And if it's personal counseling, contact Ms. Molina. We will also be hosting a Coffee with the Counselors event, and I will update you with dates and times on that in just a moment. And then we'll also send out regular emails with additional information. Mailings will happen once again when we're in person and on campus. Here is our contact information that's available for you here, and then it's also available on the ICA website, so you can find our emails and phone numbers in both places. And then thank you so much for joining us. So we really appreciate you taking some time out of your Sunday afternoon to spend with us as we tell you about the various aspects of the counseling department and guidance department. We hope that you'll join us for the Coffee with the Counselors event on Wednesday, October 21st at 8:15. It'll be much less of a presentation format and more so a Q&A, a way for you to get some quick questions answered or to get to know us a little bit better. So once again, thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday.